Okay, we are continuing with Daas Tevunos. So we finished a major, big siman 40, mem, right? And now we're starting with mem aleph, correct? I believe that's where we're up to, yeah? So mem aleph, you have the same numbers as I do in your version?
There's a...
You have a heading, but it...
Sif Vav begins with end of mem.
Yeah.
The more of...
Revelation,
right, okay, fine.
Is asking the question.
Okay, so...
he's doing the conclusion, and then the...
Right, so we're going to start with mem aleph, yeah? So Amra and Neshama. Again, Amra and Neshama says, Nikabitz eifoi kol asher dibarno at ata b'inyan hazeh kiravu. Let us gather together, right, sabrat, everything that we've said until now with regards to this matter, because it's a lot, right? It's a lot. Okay, so basically the Neshama says, do me a favor, summarize. Okay, now before we go on, since it's been a while, let's summarize. How would you summarize? Because this is going to be key here. How would you summarize what he was talking in this previous section? How would you summarize? Again, just think it through for a second, because there's a problem here that we're going to come up against that I'm not sure yet how to answer, and a lot of it depends on how would you want to summarize what is being said, what was said. You want to try? Want to attempt at a summary?
Not
I mean, yeah, it's a tough one.
Okay,
But
so yeah, give me something to throw in.
Hashem's Barach is so infinite and so perfect that the only way we can describe him or attempt to describe him in our human earthly language,
Right.
or through human earthly concepts, is by negation.
Okay, so far so good.
The opposites, and kind of crossing out all the things that don't belong will get us closer, or will help us understand his perfection as much as we can possibly do so.
Okay. So in other words, right, so the only quality that we can appreciate through negation is Hashem's onlyness, oneness, onlyness.
The rest you're not going to get it.
Right? And the way to appreciate that is through negation of all the things that seem to indicate something opposite of onlyness. Correct? So all of those 5 things that were mentioned before, the five wrong approaches to God. Okay? And that was really Eitz Hadas, right? Was falling into the trap of one of the 5 things, or all of the 5 things. Okay. Okay, and all right, let's see. So let's see what he says. So Omar Aseichel, Haklal Katzar V'Noyach L'Kabloi. This the principle, the general principle, is short and easy to accept. That is, Rotza Harotzon Ha'Elyon, Hashem's loftiest will, Rotza desired, Legalois, to reveal, Ulevarer, and to how do you say levarer? To purify, let's say, Amitas Yichudoi, the truth of his yichud, of his onlyness. She'ein shum yicholis neged yicholtoi klal ve'ikar. What is the Amitas Yichudoi? That there is nothing that is able to go against his, right, his abilities at all, right? There's nothing that, right? So Amitas Yichudoi means that there's nothing to go against him, right? And he wanted to reveal this. He wanted to reveal this. And on this foundation, he built the world. With all of its laws, right? All of the laws of the universe are built on the revelation of Yichud. Va'klal hu, and the general principle is, now it's another klal, mashahu mastir ponov, right? Why this that he hides his face, v'noisen mokom lara limotze, and he gives place for evil to be found, until he comes back and he reveals his goodness, and the evil will no longer be found, and the yichud of his dominion will be seen, right? And in between that process, right, that's the general process, the Hester Ponim followed by Gilui Ponim, and in between of that process, there is opportunity for a person, for service, for people, for human race. As long as there is chisaron available in the world. As long as there is chisaron available, then there is something to be fixed, and that there's something that a person can do to fix it. And therefore, he has an opportunity for avoida. Okay? And the shleimus is what's the word, preparing to be revealed. But then once it is revealed, huzman kabbalas aschar, that's time to reap the reward, to receive the reward al ha'avodah sheneses kvar, for the avoida that was done earlier. Okay, good, fair assumption. Fair summary.
In the very beginning of this, said that the world was built. He wanted to reveal himself,
right?
And that's the principle around which the entire world is created.
Okay. So that's what he said. This also, right? That's what he said here.
Right.
Now.
I mean, that's he said.
That's what he's saying now.
I want to make sure that I caught it. And then he said, but he hid himself.
Right.
But the creation of the world implied the absolute openness of him.
No.
Although the end result.
The end result will be right, but the creation of the world can only really happen if there is a tzimtzum, if there is some kind of a withholding on behalf of God. Right? So far so good. So now the next part I really do not understand. Amar HaNeshama. So the Neshama says, Adayin yesh li mokum me'at l'she'ela. I still have a little bit of space for a question. Okay? Funny way to phrase the question. So clearly somehow it's not a strong question, but he seems to be saying, I still have something that is not clear to me. Okay? Lama anu tzrichim loimer. Why do we need to say shakol oimed al inyan ha'ichud hazeh, that everything is standing on this idea of yichud? Okay, that's the question of the neshama. Why do we need to say that everything is standing on this yichud? Haloi toiva asvara harishona asher shemati mipicha b'tchilas devarecha. Isn't the svara harishona, your original logic, your original thought, was good, which I heard from your mouth in the beginning of your words? What's that? Svara harishona shirotza HaKadosh Baruch Hu leheitiv hatov shleima el nivroyev, that Hashem wanted to bestow the ultimate goodness to His creations, right? V'ra, and He saw, and He saw that in order for that to happen, they need to acquire it through their own merit, not as a gift, not as charity, right? Al Kain, som haschar v'oinish ba'olam. Therefore, He set up a system of schar and oinish, reward and punishment in the world. So that they will receive the ultimate good. How? Through their reward. In other words, through their work. So, and that's why He actually had to make freedom of choice, so they could choose wisely and therefore be worthy of the reward and or punishment. Right? So the question that the Seichel is asking, what's wrong with just keeping it on that notion? The notion that he really told us in Derech Hashem about, that the whole thing is schar v'oinish, that Hashem wanted to gift it, and so he couldn't gift it. I'm sorry, he couldn't gift it, so therefore he had to make us earn it. Okay, so now I don't understand this question. Do you understand this question? Because maybe you could explain it, because I do not understand this question. Because the whole idea of introducing Yichud was to tell us that what is the greatest good that HaKadosh Baruch Hu can bestow? That's Himself. So how could you come to Himself? He's perfect. There's no shaykhs. So Hashem said, wait, I have a way out. Yichud Hashem. I have a way out for you to have a certain quality which you can grasp, which is perfection. So, and he really asked it, how, right? Because back then, if you go back to wherever he said it, hold on. Here, he's here. Omar HaSeichel, Onu tzrichim lehavin ata. What we need to understand now, mehechen nimtza koyach be'odam lahashlim hesreinosav. Where does a person have the power or the ability to perfect his chisroinus? Kivan shenivra chosav. Because once he's made imperfect, how is he fixing that? Now, then he says, Amna manachnu, when you go into this Yam Godel Rechav Yadayim, it's a huge sea, it's a huge ocean, right? And let's go step by step, right? So he introduces this whole concept of Yichud to explain to us how the chaser human being is able to perfect himself. So these two things are working side by side. So I'm not sure what the neshama is coming in here and saying, hey, why don't we just stick to the first thing? We can't stick to the first thing. The first thing by itself doesn't work, in my mind. The first thing by itself doesn't work. So I don't understand. I really do not understand the question. Okay? Do you understand the question? Is there some elaboration in your books, versions that I don't understand? Because I'm not getting this question. I mean, I see that in this version, he doesn't seem to explain this question. There's Rabbi Friedlander's version. This version which is Rabbi Spinner. Rabbi Spinner tries to explain the question here. He asks my question in some way. He says. He says, Bram Tzarechiyun, he explained, whatever, Shekol Sidri Mas Vizbarach Kol HaMais HaGodol Asher Osu Minisim Odom Al Ha'oretz Kol HaTorah. I don't know why he quotes these passages, but he says that he already told us that Yichud is everything. So what are you asking again?
I mean, it sounds like the first version, second version, he's talking about the same thing.
Right, there was one. There was no two concepts. Right, there was one concept that works together. I don't understand. Right, so I understand again. So okay, so maybe he wants to bring it out clearer. Right, that's what I would have thought. Maybe this, the neshama sometimes plays the character of just asking maybe stupid questions to let you say something. But the response is, let's just read the response just for a second. Omer HaSeichel, what would he respond? Instead of explaining the reason, he says, Aval ha'maisa mokiach shehayichud ha'oimid nazgalis. He says, but the maisa, I don't know why he calls it the maisa, but the maisa, I don't know how to translate the maisa over here, but the action proves to us, shehayichud ha'oimid nazgalis, that yichud is the thing that is going to be revealed. I don't know why maisa. I don't know what do you mean by a maisa.
Here they say the facts.
But what?
Here they say, but the facts prove.
Right, so I'm not sure what facts he's talking about either. Yeah. However you translate it, what facts is he talking about? So if he wants to say the psukim that he brought before, that's going to happen, he said, Ani Anihu, he brought psukim, and he told us Hazinu is telling us all that, right? So So he could have said psukim, but he didn't. He said, listen, I don't know. I'm not. It sounds like he's starting to say that. Listen, before I answer you why that it has to be so, I'm just telling you that I see that it's so. I don't know what the reason is, right? But I see that it is so. He says, and then we see the promises of our prophets that we said earlier, that proved that ensure us that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will redeem Klal Yisrael Kol Ponim, no matter what. Afilu b'lo yischus. So again, he's saying, he's not answering the neshama. He's saying, I hear your question, but the bottom line is, I see that that's not this, that it has to be so. That the yichud is there, yichud is present, right? The concept of yichud is present.
No, but the fact is going to happen. He's the one who decided to happen. No matter what happens, at the end, it's going to be he.
Right.
Decided it's going to be over, it's going down, or whatever.
Meaning he's not. I don't know why, but just so.
Yeah. So like,
but why? But I do know why. He told us why. That's what the problem is.
You have like a reward, a punishment, reward is punishment. But at the end, like you improving yourself, or not improving yourself. At the end, it's still his decision. No matter what's going to happen, at the end, it's his decision. It's over. It's over.
Right. Right.
So
meaning what?
That no matter like he is the one.
No, I understand that. That's meaning so because otherwise, if Hashem doesn't come in with a sledgehammer, so to speak, and say I'm the boss here, and everything I did until now, I did it as a temporary, right?
Yeah.
Right? That's yichud. In other words, because otherwise, if he doesn't do that, yichud will never be revealed.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And if he wants to reveal his yichud, there has to be at some point a moment where he says, Atkan.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So again, so is neshama's not clear about this? I mean, what's the which part? That's I'm not. This is clear from the whole setup that he was saying until now. That's I'm not understanding what's the neshama's confusion in this. Right. Anyways, so I'm not sure. I don't understand. But let's see. Let's just keep going. Again, so I'm going to start again from Memdal. Okay. So Amar Seichel Avala Ma'aseh Makiach. The facts prove shehayichud hu ha'omed li'izgalos. Yichud is the thing that is omed li'izgalos, that has to be revealed. Ki anachnu roim haftochas hanevim. We are seeing haftochas hanevim. The promises, the promises of our prophets, shehavanam l'mayla kvar, asher hem mavtichim, that they ensuring us, sheHaKadosh Baruch Hu yigalas Yisrael al kol ponim, will redeem Klal Yisrael no matter what. Afilu b'lo yischus, even without any merit. Again, that's Yimois Mashiach. That's not necessarily Olam Haba, right? That so. I don't know what that's supposed to prove, because. I mean, that's the revelation. Where is the full revelation of Yichud? In Yimois Mashiach or in Olam Haba? Or, I don't know about this. Right? I mean, certainly Yimois Mashiach is some sort of a revelation of Yichud, just like Yitzias Mitzrayim was some sort of a revelation of Yichud. So Yimois Mashiach is that maybe the revelation of Yichud comes in steps? I'm not sure how to...
Even after Mitzrayim, we still have Amalek attacking right away.
Right.
So it wasn't clear to everyone. It was clear, it was obvious, but some still decided to challenge it.
Right, and Amalek in the pasuk says, right, that really ain't a kisei shalem until Amalek is eradicated, right?
Yeah,
part of Yichud, right?
Yeah.
Amalek is the.
Yeah, but there is no one left to challenge it. Yeah, pretty much.
Right. Okay. Again, let's see. So now, again, it's becoming a little bit unclear.
Could be that the Ma'aseh that he's referring to is the words of the Chachamim.
Yeah, maybe like just saying like Pirkei was saying like everybody has chelak on our own one. So you say like, so why bother doing mitzvahs everything? I'm still gonna get my chelak. I'm gonna be there. Like,
no, because that's not true. I'm saying you could lose it.
You can lose it.
I'm saying because we're saying that again. The whole point is that you cannot. At least maybe I have previous knowledge, but you can't connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu without some element of perfection. So he might throw you through a grinder until you perfect yourself.
Okay, so you're gonna go get him, but at the end you're still gonna get it. So why should I go taking all those loops with mitzvahs and everything? Yeah, fine, born like a heaven for extra fuel, millennium. But then I'll be the same place you know. So what?
Yeah, and that's not possible because it's not. Then it's a gift, not a. Again, so. So you're right. So you're saying there is a certain, what's the word? There is, and he's going to point this out now. There is a certain contradiction or tension between the two ideas. Meaning, on one hand, they're one. I think to me they sound like a one idea because you can't have one without the other. Because yichud enables you the possibility for avoida, and avoida enables you the possibility of hatova.
Yeah.
Right. So they work together, but on the other hand, you're right. But they're also contradictory in the sense that, well, let's see. He's going to explain. V'im hoisa hakavona be'emes. Now, even without merit.